Hi, and welcome to Epiphanies. I'm Reverend Jessie Brandon, and I'm a life cycle celebrant as well as a metaphysical minister. And I have the opportunity to bring my two loves together, books and people. So today we're doing a famous one by Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. And my guest is Dorothy Shelton, and she'll be joining us shortly. This book, I'm not even going to read because my experience of it is that she basically, Louise Hay, was diagnosed with cancer and she healed herself with positive affirmations and, of course, proper eating and all of those things that you would naturally put into place. But out of that came this beautiful book, and there's affirmations, and it's just absolutely amazing. She has suggestions to my readers, points of her philosophy, and then what's the problem, where does it come from? It's really just an amazing book. So I'd like to invite my guest, Dorothy Shelton, in. Come on, Dorothy. Bring all your stuff. She's got some goodies for us to see today.
Some goodies. We have some luggage here for show and tell.
Yeah,
so
hi.
good to see you. Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure.
Oh.
So snuggle into your seat and get
absolutely.
yourself some tea here. And I invite you as well to get yourself a cup of tea and settle into your comfy chair. And I'm going to tell you about Dorothy. So Dorothy is an encaustic artist, instructor, and retailer. And encaustic is painting with melted wax. I don't know why I stumbled over that. I've actually done this. She teaches this technique, soul painting, at her home studio and at painting parties, so you can invite her into your home.
Absolutely.
So this is a very relaxing and meditative experience, helping and facilitating people to let go of control and align with the universe, allowing the magic to happen. How beautiful. What a lovely way to say that. So, welcome.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Good. So please tell me, why did you want to have this be the book you brought today?
Because it's a life-changing book. I've had this book since way back when, so it's like a Bible for me. Like it's on my bedside table, or it's my go-to book when things are out of alignment. Mm-hmm. And I go back to this book all the time. It's the one I use most frequently.
I want you to bring out your copy to show the viewers.
Well, it's rather kind of falling apart. It is dog-eared and highlighted, and yeah, this is my bedside book.
Yeah.
And it, because, there's an emotional cause for every illness or discomfort or disease, mm-hmm. dis-ease, right, that we feel. Mm-hmm. And, at that time, when I first picked this book up, I was going through divorce. And so it helped me through that. It helped me find myself. It was, and I believed in the metaphysical. I know that there's, we're so disconnected from, our mind. Our mind, body, soul.
Mind, body, spirit, yeah.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Mind, body,
Absolutely.
soul. And it's like, yeah.
Okay, so if I may, what in here helped you with your divorce? Did you have body feelings coming out of that you then addressed, or?
I had things that I needed to discover about myself, and I would take things personally, sometimes, and everything. But what someone else says about you is not really about you.
And it's none of your business either.
It's none of your business either. It's right. Yeah. So I learned a lot about what projection. How people project their stuff onto you, and me being a sensitive, right? I take it on, and then I was left to process it. Well, I learned how to say, this is not my stuff. Mm-hmm. This is not my stuff to process. I'm not going to take it. So in that way, it was really, really helpful.
Was there something in particular in this book that you could read to us that was meaningful to you? Did you?
I did mark a part here. Okay, so this is chapter 14, the body. I believe we create every so-called illness in our body. The body, like everything else in life, is a mirror of our inner thoughts and beliefs. The body is always talking to us, and if we will only take the time to listen, every cell within your body responds to every single thought you think and every word you speak.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, so start to take, don't just, meander those meandering thoughts in there. Take control of them and know what's working for you and what is, your negative ego that's talking. Those are the saboteur that's coming in to, keep you safe, right? But it stops you from reaching the potential that, those dreams and those goals. And, we get into that fear mode, which is ego, right? So just, you can do this. You can do this. You can heal your life, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know, I'm starting to use it now after all these years. I mean, I've had the book for years too, but I have a diagnosis of fibromyalgia. And I'm much better now than I was 10 years ago, in part because I began to see that it was not, for me, my belief is that it's an illness of the cellular level. And then it's just because I didn't know how to pay attention to that. It has gone further until now it's in my physical body. And so I'm using Louise Hay and other affirmations to change that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'll cure it. I don't want to, tell, I'm sure there's lots of people out there who don't even believe this, who have fibromyalgia. And I don't want to tell them, oh, you're not sick, you can cure yourself. This is my walk. This is my experience of it. So
many paths up the mountain, not any one of them is right or wrong. It's just we all have different journeys, right? And that's how we respect other people, okay? You may, someone else may choose something else, and, whatever is right for you. And I'm highly advocate that, we don't tell other people how to heal themselves. Maybe we can open an avenue or a thought or perception that might lead them down a different road, but ultimately they will choose.
yeah,
Right.
and that's exactly why I call myself the connector, because I'm not telling anybody what they should be doing or how they can do it. I'm just pointing to ways and people and different modalities that investigate it. You just don't know what's going to work for you. And as they've always said in the various 12-step groups, take what you need and leave the rest.
That's right. That's exactly. And you touch on that word should. Okay. Louise talks about the word should, right? You don't want to should on other people, and you don't want to should on yourself, right? And that is, it's the guilt word, right? If we can cleanse ourselves of guilt, right? That's one of the biggest things. Be easy with yourself, be gentle with self.
I'm sorry. You said I should, and I opened the book, and that's exactly where
really? See, there are no coincidences. And then she says that too. It's like, there are no coincidences. Things happen for a reason, and it comes into that idea of synchronicity again, right?
Totally.
Everything comes at the right time. And even though something may seem devastating at the time, there's always a gift in the situation.
There is always a gift. Totally.
Yeah, you just have to have your eyes open to be able to see it.
I always say that every challenge is actually an opportunity, and I believe in Chinese that is the symbol for both of those words, challenge and opportunity. And it's true, because you can actually change what's happening, or at least how you feel about it, how you carry it, by seeing it as an opportunity as opposed to something you're carrying.
Yeah, absolutely.
A heavy weight. I guess it's sort of like, I've had the opportunity to talk to so many people about so many different books, and really the message is always the same. The journey is inside, the answers are inside. You are loved, you are whole. It is this journey that we're on that is, we helped choose to begin to learn who we really are. So all of the challenges and the things that happen are merely guideposts to take us home, as it were.
Exactly. We're all just walking each other home, right? And I like that one.
Yeah.
Because we're just assisting each other little by little, baby steps along the way. And yeah, it's pretty, it's an incredible journey.
Yeah, it really is. And I just find that it gets me so excited to hear someone else talk about their journey and where they came from and where they're going and what tools they're using to get there. Is there another situation that you used this book for, or have you passed the book on to other people because you thought perhaps they might?
I've bought multiple copies of it.
Yeah.
And I think at one time I probably had 10, and you know, you'd find somebody who was struggling, or they were really in a victim mindset, right? Because it really doesn't serve them to be there, but they're trapped there. They're stuck there for some reason. And what sometimes I can't put into words, Louise had in print, right? Go home and, like, I'm not going to lecture you about this, but maybe this might do something for you. Here's a gift.
Yeah.
Go home and read it.
Nice.
And if it helps somebody, that's great. And if it didn't, you know, wasn't their time, you know, everything comes to us at its right time.
Yes.
And if it didn't do anything for them, well, it wasn't their right time, and maybe they passed it on to somebody else.
Exactly.
Who it was
maybe,
right for.
Yeah, maybe they were just the conduit, is what the
that
way I
could
always
be.
look at it. Yeah.
And that could be. So, yeah, several books. Yeah.
That's wonderful. I'm afraid I'm someone who, when I get a book, I usually hang on to it because every time I loan it, I don't get it back. So I'm like, no, I can't. Those are my babies.
There's a good one for that. You know, when you loan it out, take a picture of them with
Oh, that's a good idea. I hadn't thought of that.
take a picture of them. When it comes back, you erase the picture.
Oh, because somebody out there's got my Anita Morjani dying to be me. And I hadn't seen this one. This one looks fairly new too. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a newer edition, but I do prefer the older one because it's the simplified version. And you know, in the black and white, it's highlighted like crazy. It's dog-eared.
Yeah, I have to admit, this is the kind of book that it's pretty, you know, and it's lovely to look at.
But it's harder to read.
Yes, and I like being able to highlight and underline. And I noticed in here.
Oh, gee, look what popped out of the book.
Look at this. It's a Hallmark card, but it looks like encaustic.
It is encaustic.
That's what I
with a
thought.
text inlay in there.
Okay. Well, we're going to talk about that in just a moment. But first, we're going to go to a commercial break. And I invite you to come back, go warm up your tea, and then settle back into your chair and come on back to Epiphanies. We'd love to have you. We have more to talk about with Dorothy, Shelton, and Louise Hay. Thanks. welcome back to Epiphanies. My guest today is Dorothy Shelton, and we've been talking about You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. And this is a beautiful copy, but we've already decided we like the old copy better because, as you can see from Dorothy's copy, there's lots of highlighting and underlining and note pages in here. And yeah, that's the way you treat a book. You really get into it. So Dorothy, I want to talk about who you are. What is encaustic art?
Encaustic art is a very ancient technique, thousands of years, but it's coming new again. And it's painting with melted wax. For me, it's just a very stress relieving. There's something soothing about, taking the wax from a solid form to a liquid and then applying it, and then it turns solid again. It's very therapeutic.
Yeah. Okay, so I noticed that you've got one of the irons out, and I know that you've got a bag down there full of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So while you're pulling out some stuff, I'm just going to say this is an actual painting iron. And it's just like an iron for your clothes, except it doesn't have the steam holes in it because you need to be able to have the wax all melted, and then you use the tip. And I gather there's other tools. So I see you have actual wax blocks here. I learned with crayons. Well, I didn't learn. I tried it once with crayons, and I loved it. So
yeah, we use crayons, and we use the beeswax blocks, and we use a stylus as well. So yeah, but when I'm teaching, I start with just the iron because there's so much you can do with just the iron. And my style of teaching is that it's about letting go of control.
Okay.
It's right, letting go of intention. And just going back into childlike play, and it's like, oh, we're not recreating this landscape scenery or whatever, we're just gonna play. And through the play and playing with the colors and you allow things to come through in the painting or in through the wax. You may not see it right away. You may go home with it and look at it, or everybody looks at a painting a different way, and you can turn it different ways, and it's pretty amazing what pops out. Spirit shows up in those paintings, right? I had a lady at one class that I did in Orangeville, and there was a bunch of ladies there, and I got to talking to her, and I mount them for them and they go home with them, but I do always take a photograph. The next morning I was looking and I'm going, well, that's a horse head right there. And I had found out during our class that she had horses at home.
Oh, wow.
So I messaged her, I said, do you see, and I didn't tell her what I saw, do you see what I see? And she's, wow, I didn't see that before. It's like,
very cool.
And she says, that's a horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just came out.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's really lovely. I know I saw you working at a show one time, and I was just amazed. I still have the piece. You just sat there and went, you did it so fast, and it was so beautiful, and it's still on my bulletin board.
Awesome.
And I really like that.
And I try not to overthink it. It's like because when you overthink it, you're getting into the stress level in your body or whatever. You just want it to flow through you. So it's like channeling spirit, really, channeling it through you. So people say like, oh, your work is so beautiful. And I say, well, yeah, it's mine, but it's not really mine.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, sometimes I don't know how that happened, but it happened, and yeah.
Yeah, that's really wonderful. And so you do house parties, and so you've traveled around. How far are you willing to travel to do this?
I'm usually within an hour radius of, let's say, Alliston. Right?
Yeah.
So I come to Barrie, I've been to Newmarket, I've been to Keswick, been to Orangeville. So, I've been to quite a few places. Yeah.
I absolutely love your shirt. And I don't usually comment on people's clothing, but I happen to know something interesting about this shirt. Now, sit back and show them your shirt and tell us all about that.
Well, this is encaustic art, digitally reproduced. In other words, I've photographed it to be color correct, and I have taken it and had it applied to fabric. So this is like the new exciting part of the journey, because a long time ago when I first started, and the Divine team told me that you need to start painting, they said, it's gonna go on fabric. So when it finally actually came to fruition, I was so excited that it actually on fabric.
Right. So show me
like,
some more stuff there.
Well, okay, so we have this, and we have, this is a matching beanie that you can wear. And this comes with, you can either have the bamboo lining or a cotton lining, so depending on the season or the weather, right? So they have this, so this is like matching to this, so you can be all matchy-matchy, right? It's like, yeah.
I love that.
I feel it, yeah, like, and the
Oh,
quality is
so
the quality is so amazing. They're made in Canada.
Now, is this your personal hat?
That's my personal hat.
May
yeah.
I try it on?
Well, you may.
Well, I just have to show you. You too can wear hats.
Yes.
How's it look? Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. I like it. I'm gonna.
Well, they do come in other sizes too. So you take a measurement of it. Yeah. You take a measurement of your hat, and so.
Beautiful. I love that.
I know, they're so colorful, and the patterns just show up. So there's so much detail that shows up, and they're so vibrant.
Right.
Right. And we have another top. And we just launched this in September too.
Really? So this is your art.
This is my art
that you've created.
Yeah.
And it is now, are they, how many do they make of, say, this pattern?
These are made to order.
Really? So they're unique.
Unique, incredibly unique.
And
yes.
can you have them made for somebody that creates something in your class?
If they wanted, instead of going home with just their art, if they wanted me to put it on a piece of clothing for them, absolutely, I can do that for them.
That's incredible.
Okay. And you talk about a unique gift for somebody.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I made this for you.
Yeah, like really made
this for you.
Yeah.
You've seen the top, that's just another top. But again, you can see the vibrancy and the detail and how it lines, like in the seam, and how it lines up pattern-wise. Right?
Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
Lines up pretty good.
What I really love about it is that, like, can you believe that that's crayons and an iron? Really?
Yes.
I mean, and I didn't know that it was an ancient art. That is really
it is, yeah.
very cool.
And then the last one I have is the leggings, and they're such high quality, and the stitching is impeccable. The stretch, I mean, how sometimes when you have leggings and you'll get a white line when you stretch them out, right? Well, do you see white line? There's no white line there.
I see no white lines.
No white line. No white lines. So, I mean, there you go.
Yeah, that is really gorgeous. Really lovely. So all of this is a part of your spiritual journey.
Yes.
And that's what you are having people experience, is the opportunity to channel spirit and create their own art. And then they can have a unique living piece of art that they can wear on their body. I think that's absolutely gorgeous.
Creativity is the seed of our soul, right? And I've always been very creative, and but I never could express it as well as I can through encaustic.
Really?
Yeah.
So how long have you been doing encaustic art?
Just over 3 years now.
Really?
Yeah.
And how did you stumble across it?
I had been working with a lady doing some personal work, and I got into doing Reiki. I did my Reiki 1 and I did my Reiki 2. And Reiki is a portal to the creativity. And within 2 months of me doing Reiki 2, I had a dream, and the Divine team was there.
Yeah.
And they came and they said, you need to start painting, and you need to start now. And that's when they said, it's going on fabric. I said, so I, sat bolt right up in bed, listen, okay, I hear you. I went out and bought acrylic paints and brushes and stuff like that. And after about 2 weeks working with that, I'm going, that's not what they meant. And I'd heard about encaustic, and I'd wanted to learn, and I just, there were obstacles that prevented me to get to Barrie to learn. So I said, well, that's it. I'm going to learn on my own. So I had a travel iron, I had some photo paper, and I had crayons. And that's how I started.
Really?
And I started that way, and I lost myself. I totally lost myself. My son would go to work, 4 or 5 hours later, he'd come home. You're still sitting there? Yeah, why? What time is it? And I was so like into it. And, within a month I got my real iron and real paper and and everything. And then everything started just to unfold. As if magic, right? When you step into what's your passion, then the magic happens. A lady saw my work on Facebook. She says, "Oh, you need to teach." And I was like, I thought I'd done all the work.
Yeah.
And it comes out, "Oh, but I'm not good enough."
Oh, yes, the old I'm not good
Oh,
enough.
I'm not good enough. Oh, but yes, you are. I'm holding the first 2 classes. You're coming.
Awesome.
Right?
Awesome.
And she got me started, and I've been doing it ever since.
That's
and
terrific.
it's like I didn't know that I could do it, but say yes, and I'm so comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
Right? This is like where I'm meant to be. So
And so this is now is it a home business? Do you have a shop?
it's a home business. I do teach in my home. I do like to do outside. I am teaching, my next class is going to be at the South Simcoe Art Council on November 18th.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Great. I just want to let you know that if you have any questions about Louise Hay, she has many books, this one in particular is terrific, or any questions for Dorothy about encaustic art, we'd love to get an email from you. So you can contact me at jessie@jessiebrandon.ca, and I'd love to hear from you with any questions that you have, and I'll get back to you just as soon as I can. And Dorothy, I want to know, what is one epiphany that you can share with us today that changed your life or moved you forward?
Listen to your guides. Trust the universe, right? They haven't failed you yet.
That's true. You're
They
still here.
yeah.
They haven't failed you.
Right. Listen to them, because, that's the path. That's
Yeah.
the path that you need to take.
Yeah.
Be unique, be you. That's my tagline.
Yeah.
Is like, step into your greatness, because, don't play small.
Yeah. We're not here to play small.
We're not here to play small. Just go for it.
Right.
And when you follow your passion, everything else falls into place.
Yeah, it really does,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. Dorothy, thank you so much for coming to see me today. I really appreciate everything that you brought, and I know that there will be information on the cut lines so that people can reach you.
Awesome.
And I appreciate you taking the time. And I want to thank my viewers for watching this show and sticking with me. That's Epiphanies, and here on Rogers Cable TV. And I've really enjoyed your company, and I thank you for watching, and I do hope that you'll watch again. Thanks.